Hey guys, Brett here, and welcome back to another episode of TopoRanger. Today we are back in York Haven, Pennsylvania, York County, right next to the river. We're looking at the power station right here, the York Power Station. A couple episodes ago, we were checking out the catwalk, the fishing catwalk, which was, I love that. I think it's cool. I might actually go back there again just for fun after I get done filming this episode today. But we're not going to power station today. We're not really dealing with the river, although the river is right here, and I might show you guys the Headrace here. TMI, 3 Mile Island is right up there, right? We're here today to find an old quarry. Now, I was tipped off to this quarry by a reader or by a viewer on my YouTube channel. By the way, if you haven't yet, please go over there. If you like my stuff, by the way, go over there and check it out. Check out some videos, and if you like them, please subscribe and ring that bell for notifications. Also, check me out on TOPO_Ranger. That's TOPO_Ranger at Instagram. That's where I post all of my pictures and short videos that kind of go along with my more extensive explorations that I post on YouTube. There was an episode I did a while ago called the 1890 tunnel, and what happened was I came across a tunnel down this way. It actually went under these same I think this is Norfolk Southern tracks, down that way past York Haven as you're heading out towards Gut Road. And I found these really cool inscriptions, and there was a guy who left some comments on that video, and we kind of had an interaction there. And he apparently when he was young, he used to explore a lot in this area, and he knows a lot about up and down here. And he told me that there was a quarry up here above North York Haven where, according to him, as legend goes, or as rumor goes, they actually used some stone from this quarry for the Washington Monument. Now, I do not know if this is true. Every little town has a lot of stories and legends, right? It's not so much about is it true or is it not. It's about, I want to go find this quarry, because what I'm thinking, and I found it already on the LiDAR or on the Google Earth terrain, and it's not a big quarry, basically just an indentation into this hill. What I'm thinking is, as far as the Washington Monument goes, there is, in this hillside here, which is mostly the diabase, which is, magma that comes up in these thin sheets, penetrates up through existing rock. We've done a lot of stuff about diabase. We've talked a lot about diabase. There's also the New Oxford Formation up here, which has shale, red shale, sandstone, limestone conglomerate. And also, I've never seen it, well, maybe I have, white sandstone. Now, if you watch that video where I first go into the 1890 tunnel, you'll see that the first 50 feet is kind of this arch construction, but once it gets under the actual railroad, the construction changes, and there's these huge, massive, solid stone cross beams. Now, I'm assuming that that's where the railroad starts, and they need that for structural support. These huge cross beams were bright white. And I remember I remarked in the video, I had to actually turn down the light in the second follow-up video where I first used the hyperlight. I remember saying, God, these rocks are so bright that they're just super reflective, right? And I was thinking to myself, like, well, where did this rock come from? This is all red sandstone, red shale. Further down, there's dark dolomite. There's, where did this stuff come from? Now I'm starting to think that what they used for those huge structural support beams in the 1890 tunnel, and also I found another tunnel a little closer, which we're gonna hit up maybe today, but probably in a future episode. Maybe that's where they got those beams, because according to the map, according to the geology, there is white sandstone at some point in the New Oxford Formation, and white sandstone, maybe that's where the legend, if it's not true, started about this quarry up here being the place where they got the rock for the Washington Monument. As far as I know, the Washington Monument is encased in like white limestone or buff colored limestone. But if they were pulling huge white, you know, chunks of rock right out of the earth here, and then it was traveling down here, maybe that was around the time when the Washington Monument was being constructed, and they were taking it down there to do other things with it, not necessarily the Washington Monument, and maybe the locals saw it traveling by, and they're like, hey, that's going down to build the Washington. Maybe that's how it all got started. There's also a rock up here, which hopefully we're gonna find in the quarry. It's called porcelainite. What happens when you have these igneous dikes pumping up these veins of just super hot magma up through existing rock? The rock that is directly adjacent to the magma, right, is exposed to enormous heat and pressure, and a lot of times it'll change the nature of that rock. Porcelainite, according to my research, and again, I'm not a geologist, I'm not an expert, I'm just into this stuff, is that rock which is right next to the magma that comes up to form these dikes. And the diabase is what is that magma when it cools underground and then is later on revealed by erosion. That is diabase, but a lot of times it's pretty much exactly the same thing as granite. But next to it is going to be this stuff called porcelainite. So we want to try to find porcelainite. We want to try to find some of that white sandstone. We want to try to find the quarry. And then there's some other stuff I'm going to do in this episode too, that if we have enough time and enough battery power, enough energy, enough water, should be pretty fun. All right, so let's go try to find this quarry. Son of a bitch. Oh man. All right, whoop, there he is. You hear that? That's the thing. Things happen in a moment. You got to be ready. I was not ready. I just saw a huge groundhog try to come down a little bit, and he wound up sliding the whole way down right to there. Out of control. I mean, it was out of control. That groundhog was not in control of his descent, and it was freaking hilarious. And I was like, hit record. But I pressed it too many times, and it went into a different mode, and I failed. But anyway. It just goes to show you never know when stuff like that's going to happen. We found it. We're here. This is the quarry. The close cliff faces where the groundhogs were falling down ended, and now this is cutting back into the woods here. And I can see the cliffs here. I'm assuming there's a bunch of trails in there, you know, created by locals over the years. Probably go in there, probably run the dirt bikes and stuff in there. I'm not sure, but I think what I'm going to do, I'm gonna get a drink of water because it's 90 degrees and humid out here, and then I'm gonna get the machete out, and I might go POV, and then we're gonna go in there. We're gonna see if we can't find porcelainite and that white sandstone. Might be in there, might also be farther down, because the diabase kind of ends at a certain point. The diabase ends, and then you get into the New Oxford Formation, and I think the diabase is actually part of the New Oxford, or maybe it's not, but the diabase is what makes up the Conowalga Falls, which is right there. Anyway, let's get some water and get inside there. What is this? Is this a sassafras? Sassafras tree? I think so. My friends used to have one of these in the yard. We used to taste it. All right, here we are. It's good because I flip it around and I use the hard edge to break stuff, and the soft edge and the sharp edge to actually cut stuff. Oh wow. Okay, so yeah, this flat surface here would be the quarry floor. Check this out. Oh yeah, this is definitely a quarry. Diabase. Huge blocks. And you can see the flat faces. Again, my guess is that they use this quarry for the rock that they built those huge blocks that we saw in the catwalk episode to build, basically the structure of the power station itself. Probably came from here. And also, I wouldn't be surprised. Look at the size of these blocks. If the dam itself was built with this, and it's very hard. What's that? Is that? Oh, that's graffiti. My first thought when I saw this, it was, rock climbing. This probably make a good rock climbing spot. And in fact, it must be, because I'm seeing some anchors, one there and one there. Sometimes you can tell because the chalk they use gets stuck on the rock and then drips down when it rains. See, it curves around and then over there. The cliffs are getting higher right here. That's probably a 60-foot cliff. Ugh, buggy. Wow. Yeah. See how this is peeling away there? I'm not seeing anything other than standard diabase. And I'm not seeing any infrastructure. I tell you what, why don't let's head back down that way and then go across to the other side. See what the north face looks like, and then come back around to right about here to kind of complete the semicircle loop here. Maybe we'll find some infrastructure. We are here on the other side of the quarry. Right here, this is where the south face thins down. Tracks are right there. As far as I can see, and I can pretty much see the face of it through the shrubbery or through the undergrowth the whole way around. The height stays about the same, 40 to 60 feet. It looks to me to just be all diabase. Like that right there. I didn't see any changes in the bedrock whatsoever. However, the volume here is certainly big enough to, I would think, just looking at it, the massive amount of rock they pulled out of here would account for the construction of the power station and the dam and whatever else they did. But as far as I can tell, there's no white sandstone or anything that would strike me as porcelainite, although I've never seen it. And also, we're in the thick of the diabase here. We got to find where the diabase meets the host rock. And the host rock is just the rock that's pre-existing, and then the dike, the magma comes up through it, because that's where you're going to get that baking, the cooking, and the of the host rock directly adjacent to. And I guess we're just not there. I think a little farther down, according to the map, we get into the New Oxford Formation, which is, I think, the group of rocks that was in situ when you know, when the magma came up. So let's go down, let's head down the tracks, or up the tracks, up the river a little bit, and see if we can't find the contact zone, all right? Wonder if I could walk this dead tree out to the tracks instead of walking this way. Although then I might miss the contact. Let's stay on. There's kind of a trail here, kind of. Not really. I think this might actually be the natural hillside. Maybe. Yeah. I see a break here, and I'm gonna take it. It's pretty thick here. Oh, I can't machete through that. That's cable. Can go around it though. Ah! Heck. I was reading this book the other day about these English guys who were exploring in Nepal, and there's a zone, apparently there's a zone in between the Tibetan plateau and the plains of India and the foothills where there's a lot of jungle, and they were looking for this lost waterfall, and also AKA, they didn't know at the time, but Shangri-La, and they were in bamboo so thick they could only make it about, like they said, 300 feet a day. So they spent a whole day chopping, and they had a crew. They had, you know, they had people, porters, guides, scouts, people with machetes, all of them hacking away all day, 300 feet. That's how thick the jungles were. I mean, and there were leeches too. I don't have bamboo and I don't have leeches, so we're gonna hike a little bit up here, just see if we can't find an outcrop, something obvious, something that, you know, we can see without getting too mixed up in the underbrush. And I see some right there. What you're looking at right here, this is the Headrace. This is the water that's feeding directly into the power plant. That little tan line there is the dam, and then right beyond that is the is Kanawha Falls, and also up there I think you can hear the water rushing over the dam, where the dam is no longer what I think is called the Headrace. A lot of water goes over the dam. Right there, that house you see right there, that's the Falmouth boat launch, and you can see all kinds of people up on the boat or on the rocks. The water looks still kind of high though. I like to go to the Kanawha Falls in the summer, late summer, early fall, because that's when the water is usually the lowest and it all kind of comes out. But I guess those people there are probably fishing. We're still not that very far from the power station. I just saw one of those trucks roll by, with trucks with the wheels, with the train wheels. You know, those things are pretty cool. Just north of the quarry, there's a big power line cut, and you can see what I think is kind of the natural hillside. You can see the diabase, but then right here is this big divot. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that's another little quarry. So let's go over there and see if we can spot any variation in the rock. Yeah, oh yeah, look at this. Definitely, that was definitely made by people. It's kind of a wetland here. You got these. It looks like a quarry. Ah. These reeds. I'm gonna find Moses in a basket. You know, I don't know if this might be natural, or it could be a quarry.